Someone's asking, what's the best way to get teenage kids to learn to drive? Well, I hope they're asking learn how to drive safely or actually learn how to control a car.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's assume this is past the
yeah,
driver's ed kind of level.
yeah, because you can get in the car with your kid and drive around, and if they pass the driver's test, they can drive. That's how it works. But that doesn't mean they know how to drive. Certainly doesn't mean they know uh, how to control a car.
Right.
And something that I always talk about is, um, you know, in the U.S. anyways, I won't talk about other countries because I'm not exactly sure, but nobody really knows how to control a car when it's out of control, or what to do with a car when it's out of control. And that's often the most dangerous time to be behind the wheel of a car, is when it's lost control in some way. Um, the DMV doesn't test for that. There's no you don't go out onto a skid pad and show that you can turn into a slide, or that you can engage ABS, or any of those things. So for me, I strongly recommend track days. Here in the Bay Area, our local Golden Gate Audi Club does teen driver safety clinics, and these are all day events. They're pretty cheap. I think they're like $100 for the day, and usually they have sponsors that pay for it. But they go out with your teenager, and you do all those kind of tests and examples behind the wheel of the car that they drive, so that they get a sense of what to do when the car is out of control. And I would strongly recommend looking into anything like that you can do. Um, what is there age limits on track days? I think
There is,
it's as
yeah,
long as you're
yeah,
16.
16, and then
So I would get my kid out on
there's
track.
also, like, I don't know if I was reading some other stuff. You spoke to the winter driving school events.
Oh yeah, and
Those are
if
really,
there's snow and
if you
stuff,
have
yeah,
access to a winter school event,
yeah,
that is a really good way to have someone feel what the limits of a car are
yeah,
with very low lets. So you can feel what a slide feels like at 10, 15, 20 miles
yeah.
an hour with very little, consequence should they get it wrong, and they will get it wrong. I mean, everybody does for a
No,
while.
nobody knows how to do
Uh,
this naturally.
you
I mean,
need to
maybe a few
you need
people.
to feel what's
Yeah,
going on, and what it feels like, what counter steer means, what these control
yeah.
methods are that you've got available to you, that most people don't ever experience or learn.
Yeah, the teen driver clinics here, we rent a water truck, and we do it in a parking lot where everything gets sprayed down, trying to help reduce the amount of grip. But I would get my kid out on track at minimum.
Yep.
Um, I think it actually will have the opposite effect. I think a lot of people think, well, if I let my kid go out on track, they're going to turn into a speed junkie. But I think it would be like learning how to use a gun responsibly at a shooting range. Going through the process, um, learning uh, how to responsibly use a car, learning how to control a car when it's at the limit or when it's out of control. These are very valuable things. So you just can't do that on the streets. There's really no good way to get a car out of control or at the limit of traction on the street. It's very tough to do. You would certainly be breaking laws, and then God forbid, you know, you hit someone head on going through a corner, cutting lanes
Well,
and
and it's
stuff. So
yeah, and there's so many of the exercises too are very real world relatable, where it'll be like a rapid lane change movement,
yeah,
where you're really, you've got someone that just merges into you or something, which we've all had on the highway.
yeah,
And then how can you catch that, react to it, and know what the vehicle's going to do when you dramatically change your direction of travel at high
exactly.
speed. So
And, and
it's not like these are like high speed, high cornering, like learning to slide a car around. It's real world, very applicable
yeah,
procedures and techniques.
yeah, it's not stunt driving
No.
school. It's very much learning to control the car in the real world. So I highly recommend that. I actually have a son who's 13, so it's something I've been stressing about and thinking
How is he
about.
13
I
already?
don't know, man. Apparently he'll be 14 this
Oh
year.
my God.
So I don't know, but it is scary. I mean, I think driving is really the most dangerous thing that anyone does in modern day society, and yeah, we have so little training around it. So hopefully that was helpful.